Ever stared blankly at your phone, willing Venmo to just work already? You're trying to split that dinner bill, send your friend back their share of the concert tickets, or maybe just pay your roommate for their half of the Wi-Fi, but all you're getting is a spinning wheel of frustration or a cryptic error message. Sound familiar? You're definitely not alone. Venmo, while incredibly convenient for those quick peer-to-peer transactions, isn't immune to the occasional hiccup. And when it decides to take a break, it can throw a serious wrench in your plans. But don't panic just yet. Before you resign yourself to IOUs and awkward cash exchanges, there are a bunch of things you can try to get Venmo back up and running smoothly. Think of this as your ultimate troubleshooting guide, your digital first aid kit for when your favorite money-sharing app decides to go rogue. We'll walk through a systematic approach, starting with the simplest fixes and gradually moving towards more involved solutions. So, grab your phone, take a deep breath, and let's get your Venmo back in action. First things first, let's tackle the low-hanging fruit. These are the quick checks that often resolve the issue with minimal effort. Is your internet connection stable? This might seem obvious, but a shaky Wi-Fi signal or a weak cellular data connection is a surprisingly common culprit behind app malfunctions. Try switching between Wi-Fi and cellular data to see if that makes a difference. If you're on Wi-Fi, try restarting your router. Sometimes a simple reboot can clear up connectivity issues. If you're on cellular data, make sure you have a strong signal and that your data plan hasn't run out. Is the Venmo app up to date? Outdated apps can sometimes have bugs or compatibility issues that are resolved in newer versions. Head over to the App Store for iOS or the Google Play Store for Android, search for Venmo, and see if there's an update available. If there is, tap Update and wait for it to install. Once updated, try opening Venmo again. Have you tried simply restarting the app? Sometimes, all an app needs is a fresh start. Close the Venmo app completely, don't just minimize it. On iOS, you can usually swipe up from the bottom of the screen, or double-press the home button on older devices to see your open apps and then swipe Venmo off the screen. On Android, the process varies depending on your device, but it usually involves tapping a Recent Apps button and then swiping the Venmo app away. After a few seconds, reopen Venmo and see if the problem persists. Is your phone's operating system up to date? Just like outdated apps can cause problems, an outdated version of iOS or Android can also lead to app instability. Check your phone settings for any available software updates and install them if there are any. Now, if those quick fixes didn't do the trick, let's move on to some slightly more involved troubleshooting steps. Check the Venmo server status. It's possible that the issue isn't on your end at all. Sometimes, Venmo's servers might be experiencing temporary outages or maintenance. You can usually check the server status by searching online for the Venmo server status or by visiting Venmo's official social media channels, like Twitter, where they often post updates about any widespread issues. If there's a known outage, unfortunately, all you can do is wait for Venmo to resolve it on their end. Clear the Venmo app's cache and data, Android only. This can sometimes resolve issues caused by corrupted temporary files. To do this, go to your phone settings, then find Apps or Applications. Locate Venmo in the list, tap on it, and then tap on Storage. You should see options to clear cache and clear data. Try clearing the cache first and see if that helps. If not, you can try clearing the data, but be aware that this will log you out of the app, and you'll need to enter your login credentials again. Force stop the Venmo app. If simply closing the app didn't work, you can try force stopping it. This completely shuts down the app and any background processes it might be running. You can usually find the force stop option in the same place where you found the clear cache and clear data options in your phone settings, under Apps Venmo. After force stopping, wait a few seconds and then try opening Venmo again. Check your payment methods. Sometimes, the issue might not be with the Venmo app itself, but with the payment methods you have linked to it. Make sure your linked bank accounts and cards are still valid, haven't expired, and have sufficient funds. You can check this within the Venmo app by going to the Me tab, the single person icon, then tapping on Settings, the gear icon, and then selecting Payment Methods. Review each of your linked accounts and cards to ensure everything is up to date. If a card has expired, you'll need to remove it and add the new one. Verify your identity. Venmo sometimes requires users to verify their identity for security reasons. If you haven't completed this process, it could be preventing you from sending or receiving payments. The app usually prompts you if verification is needed, but you can also check your verification status in the settings section under your profile. Follow the on-screen instructions to complete the verification process if required. Reinstall the Venmo app. If none of the above steps have worked, the next thing to try is uninstalling and then reinstalling the Venmo app. This can often resolve more persistent issues by giving you a completely fresh installation of the app. To uninstall, long press the Venmo app icon on your home screen or app drawer and then select Uninstall. Once it's uninstalled, head back to the App Store or Google Play Store, search for Venmo, and install it again. After reinstalling, log back in with your credentials. Contact Venmo support. If you've tried all the troubleshooting steps above and Venmo is still not working, it's time to reach out to the experts, Venmo's customer support team. They have the resources and knowledge to diagnose and resolve more complex issues. You can usually find their contact information within the Venmo app, often in the help or support section within the settings, or on the Venmo website. Be prepared to provide them with details about the issue you're experiencing, any error messages you're seeing, and the troubleshooting steps you've already tried. While you're waiting to hear back from support, or if you need to make an urgent payment, consider these temporary workarounds. Use another payment app. There are several other popular peer-to-peer payment apps available, such as PayPal, Cash App, and Zelle. If you and the person you're trying to transact with both have one of these alternatives, you can use it as a temporary solution. Request cash or use a different method. If the transaction isn't urgent, you could simply request cash in person or explore other payment methods like bank transfers if the recipient is comfortable with that. Keep detailed records. If you're unable to send or receive a payment due to Venmo issues, make sure to keep clear records of the transaction details, who owes what to whom, so you can settle up once the app is working again. Screenshots of error messages can also be helpful when contacting support. With that said, thanks for watching and until next time.